Welcome back to the Butt Chug Podcast, everyone. This is episode 91. We are coming up to episode 100 very soon. We were talking about this last week. Big episode coming.
After one more beer, too. So the ideas really started flowing after we did one more beer.
Yeah, I've gotten some good feedback on last week's episode. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I believe you titled it, "This is why we started this podcast," or you put that in the description. That's all I thought about on the way home. I was like, that was like OG Butt Chug Podcast. It was so much fun. And I think partially it's because we're back together. I think we are all just in a mood.
Yeah, because the week before was Steve, the Steve invasion. Mm-hmm. And then last week was all three of us. We had been together one time before, but maybe we were just kind of getting out some of the rust.
Yeah.
So now, like you said, OG. So like the first one with exception of, back before March.
Yeah.
Really. So a few months.
Yeah, so if you want to really get a good feel of the Butt Chug Podcast, I'll first finish this episode, but then go back to episode 90. It was really funny. I listened back. I was worried that, I don't know, I was worried that some of the stuff we were talking about, we don't want to offend anybody. And
right.
I was worried that the story I was telling about my friend Mike and I wanted to make sure that I didn't say anything that would be like...
inflammatory?
Bad against like LGBT or anything, because that was not my intention. We're totally, in support of all that.
How do you feel like we did when it came to making sure that we were funny, humorous, and popping us off, but not being offensive?
I think we were fine. That was my worry. It was like, okay, I want to make sure that this is a welcoming to all people. And I listened back and I was like, nope, just a story. It was just a historical story.
Yeah.
And it was good. I think we did fine.
It's good.
And all are welcome.
Yeah, it's good. We throw the disclaimers out there about definitely being a non-traditional podcast, but also we want to be welcoming to everyone. But sometimes we do blur the lines, like humor and offensive. But we definitely don't go into. We don't have the inertia as comedians, like big comedians. We've talked about this before, like your Bill Burr, your Adam Carolla, the guy that jerks off into potted plants. Help me out.
Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
They have the inertia where they can say stuff like that and still be extremely successful in what they do.
Right.
We do not.
Yeah.
We don't have enough sway.
No, we don't have sway, and we really don't have... issues with any group of people in the in the world. So
I have issues with groups of people.
Certain groups
of people
that
don't use blinkers.
People who don't use blinkers.
See?
Yeah,
so you have issues with them too.
Yeah, flat earthers even.
Oh, flat earthers.
They're the worst.
Apparently AJ Styles is a flat earther.
Is he really?
Yeah.
There's another one I just recently learned.
He gets ribbed in the back about it all the time. Yeah.
I mean,
because if you notice, he switched shows.
Seriously think that.
He switched shows. Apparently a lot of it stems from that, but yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, flat earthers.
Jeez.
Crazy. And that's professionally offensive to you and I with our background.
Yeah, 100%.
Being geographers.
Yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Now we can move on with me being a geographer.
I mentioned it. I sprinkle it in here and there.
That's true. So so I did listen back, and I thought that was probably one of our funnier episodes, probably of all time.
Yeah.
We were just it was really great. So I think we found a good rhythm. Now this is a Cobra Light episode.
Cobra Light.
So hopefully we'll still have the same amount of fun, but we'll have one short.
Yeah, we miss his dry. Part of our seasoning blend. He's definitely the dryness.
He throws the Mitch.
Sorry, Stacy.
Throws the Mitch Hedberg into like our Bill Burr / louder comedians.
I'm not a dry humorist. I try it. It's not really my shtick. Sometimes, but it's all in the setup and delivery. It's not. I can't vacillate between the two.
Yeah.
I'd either be the one or the other.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's okay.
Like in the Air Force, what we call bang bang guidance. Are you familiar with bang bang guidance?
Heard that.
So old missiles with their ailerons. I can do this because we're on YouTube. Their ailerons were either on or off.
Okay.
So bang bang.
Oh, okay.
So now newer missiles will, they've got variable, but for on off, like think of a light switch, bang bang. Mm-hmm. Or now they, so it would. That's why if you ever see these older movies, the missile overcorrects because that's bang bang guidance. So that's something you can take from today's episode. Bang bang guidance.
Every movie I've ever seen with missiles, the missile lands perfectly within a centimeter of where it was supposed to.
Oh yeah, that's
There's
how
no
it always works.
compensation or anything.
That's how it always works.
That's how it always works.
JT, I've got some
Matt.
beer news.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I was looking for doing a little bit of prep today, and the craft beer industry is actually rebounding a little bit as the coronavirus tensions and otherwise sanctions are lifting on places around the country. Excuse me. Off-premise sales are up double digits in excess of like 20%, not just 10 or 11%.
Yeah, right.
And they've almost had 3 consecutive weeks of billion-dollar off-premise sales. The only reason they didn't get 3 consecutive weeks, the third consecutive week had $998 million. So, at that point, what's $2 million between friends? So 3 consecutive weeks of billion-dollar sales.
Dang, that's crazy.
So people are getting out there, and like I said, that's off-premise. So that's not going to your favorite local brewery for us. That's not going to like Rheingeist or Branch and Bone and buying it because that would be considered on-premise. This is getting it from other distributors.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that every time I go to Arrow, for those in Ohio, and every time I've gone there during the pandemic, it's way busier than before the pandemic. And they have rules, 6 people at a time, or maybe it's 10 people at a time.
For Arrow? And they enforce it?
Yeah, but there's never that. It's usually like 9 people in there.
I don't know if we can count it. I haven't been to a store where I wasn't allowed in because there was too many people in.
I've been to a few, and I pass by Arrow. Like if you go after working hours, then there's a line at the door. Mm-hmm. And then Home Depot and Lowe's, both of those places I waited in line to get into.
I've seen Lowe's where they've monitored, so maybe the store wasn't at that threshold.
Yeah, it's not at that threshold.
But they definitely had a ticker at the entrances and the exits. Yep.
Sure. So I went to Lowe's and we waited in a line that was quite long.
Yeah.
But it was, people are coming in and out pretty regularly, so it was quick. And then Home Depot, same thing. Kroger and I went to Sam's Club. They're just letting you in.
Yeah,
walk down this aisle this way and this aisle this way. Some of them are like that.
I've been to Sam's. Big Sam's family, love it. I love stocking up. I love buying in bulk because I feel like I'm cheating the system.
Sure.
When all actuality, I'm probably not cheating the system. I've been to Sam's twice. Wore my mask each time. I would say 40% compliance rate, on just the social compliance, not rules or anything that have been enforced. But I've never felt crowded. I've never felt like people being in my space or anything like that. So I take that as a victory.
Yeah, that's a victory. I feel more worried that someone's going to get mad at me and I don't realize what I'm doing. Yeah. Like I'm just shopping. I'll wear my mask. I'm just doing my thing. And sometimes I'll look over and like, oh, I'm really close to this person. I didn't realize it. Yeah. And I'm not. I'm just a relaxed guy.
But so you just cough when you exit.
They're going to be like, get out of my space. And I'm going to be like, oh, crap. I'm that guy now. Yeah. I'm going to be on Facebook Live or something. Just getting called out.
So it's a Karen for the ladies.
Yes.
And then what is, because there's different dudes.
There's different dudes.
What's the dude version of Karen? I don't know.
I'd heard one recently, but I can't remember what it was.
So we always think of like guys that are just generally dicks. We always call them Chads.
Chads, yeah.
Yeah, Chads.
Yeah, see? Reddit does the same thing.
But I don't know like the guy version. And the Karen thing in the current world is on fire.
Oh, yeah.
There's new Karen videos every day.
Yeah, there's always a Karen. I love it. I kind of saw that evolving maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. And it was always a woman with like blonde hair and like the Long Island medium haircut. You know.
Oh yeah, the poof.
Like the little thing in the back with the bangs across their forehead.
Still hanging on. I call that like the reformist '80s rocker chick. Yeah, like, where it was like rayed and teased out. I think is the word.
That's a good way to describe it. Reformed '80s rocker.
Yeah, reformist '80s.
We used to, before Karen became like the popular vernacular. Katie and I used to call it the let me speak with the manager haircut.
Oh yes. Well, yeah, and that's the. Transition. I know in my one of my work centers, we were like talking about what is now adopted as a Karen, and we were thinking of what name would apply to that individual, and we came up with Tina.
Tina?
It's always a Tina.
For
just like the demanding, out of place, like batting over her average type individual that is like. My fries aren't done. Like, do something about it. Like demanding. Like,
so essentially a Karen. Mm-hmm. Okay.
This was before Karen became
this was
a thing.
before Karen.
Yeah, this was
okay.
8-9 years ago.
All
I
right.
remember. So now in that work center, we're like, oh, it's just another Tina. Like,
Yeah,
and we always
right.
put
Yeah,
that
that's fine.
emphasis on it.
I don't think I've ever asked to speak with a manager, ever. Like it's never gotten to that level.
No,
I don't complain a lot.
I've had the manager come out before.
Yeah, like you were complaining and they came out.
No, so do we have time? This is a quick story.
Yeah, we have tons
So
of time.
this is went to Applebee's, and I was with an individual. Ordered food, ordered drinks, and you know me, I may come off as a jerk, but like to people I don't know, I'm always very appropriate, sir, ma'am, everything. It took me years to, like call my in-laws ma and pa instead of sir and ma'am. And so at Applebee's, ordered drinks. My drink came in correct. Her drink came correct. Okay, not a big deal.
Yeah.
So entrees came. My entree was completely incorrect. Her entree was correct. So, and it wasn't like somebody I knew or somebody. It was a restaurant that like nobody knew me or anything like that. So it wasn't like a grudge.
Yeah.
And I just pushed it away, and they're like, "No, we can fix it." And we're trying to make a movie. Remember, like that dinner movie,
Yeah.
shtick
Oh,
that
yeah,
we used to
yeah,
do
yeah.
like in our 20s.
Right.
And so they didn't have time to fix it, and the manager was coming out. It happened to be Applebee's. I'll never go back to Applebee's. And the manager's like trying to put like gift cards, and like it's on me. I still paid for the meal. I will gladly pay for what she ate because I didn't eat anything. But every step of the way, they got everything wrong for me. But it was great because I'm talkative. That's part of why I have a podcast. So I was able to converse through the meal.
Yeah.
But I left the gift cards there because I knew, it wasn't, and I, asked the other person I was with, like, hey, would you like these gift cards? No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And just return them. And that was fine. I wasn't confrontational. That's fine. I just got, my favorite thing at the movie theater is the pretzel bites with cheese.
Yeah.
So I just got those. Those happen to be my, but the manager came out so apologetic. Like, I go, things happen. Like,
Yeah. Right.
I didn't, I was
happens.
just, 23, 24, or whatever
Yeah.
I was at the time, and just happy to be there.
Yeah. I decided a long time ago that the places like Applebee's, they weren't for me. I'd rather go to a local place, somewhere that you can't, it's not a chain like that. But there's a lot of people, I just don't like Applebee's very, very much. And TGI Fridays and Chili's.
Right in that.
The same kind of thing.
I put those three. They're very synonymous.
Yeah, they are.
If I had to go to one of them, it'd definitely be Chili's because I love Chili's, but they probably don't specialize in chili.
No.
Like Chili's like peppers.
Yeah. So I'll say that of the three, I'd choose Chili's as well.
Yeah.
They have the good fajita, buffalo chicken fajita.
Yeah.
But just the environment, like if I'm taking my family out, I'm not going to those places.
Always a sticky table.
Yeah, always a sticky table, and like, I don't know, it's just, I just don't enjoy those environments. And they're like craft beers, like Blue Moon,
Yep.
They're like, oh yeah, it's for baby boomers, and that's okay.
So Blue Moon is essentially, by some of these website standards, still considered craft. Blue Moon sales are up like almost 36%
Jeez.
in this time.
Yeah, I bet it's a bunch of guys sitting around a cul-de-sac, just with each other drinking Blue Moons, talking about craft beer.
And we talked about, he used to be a sponsor of the, and I get a lot of texts from Chuggalo Dave.
Yeah.
And Chuggalo Dave and I have an interesting history with Blue Moon and cutting up oranges when we were both in the same squadron. But Chuggalo Dave potentially coming to Ohio.
No way.
Next weekend. So it could be a good time.
That should be a good time. Well, if he has time, if you want to do a ad hoc podcast. I don't know if that's in the cards, but
yeah, or just just grab him a beer and just record a. We haven't done a BC short in a long time.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah,
maybe with the uptick in YouTube videos, maybe we should start hitting that pedal again.
Yeah, thanks for watching our YouTube videos, everyone. We've gotten a lot of good numbers on the YouTube videos to add to our SoundCloud numbers.
That's all we want.
That's what we want. 10,000.
Upwards and to the right.
That's right.
As you guys view this. And then one thing, because it is timely, last week we had a polarizing beer. We had Harpoon's Mike's Pastry.
Yeah.
Harpoon just sold their distribution.
Really?
So they sold their distribution to the same company that owns like Sam Adams distribution.
Oh, okay.
So a big one, because their business was kind of getting lost, even though it was like a spinoff or a subsidiary of their distribution. Because Harpoon has a much smaller distribution. They're in just under half the states. This way, Sam Adams, you can get in every state. So I'm guessing the new distribution, also based out of Massachusetts. So it was one of the rare beer deals that have been done during this COVID pandemic. So hopefully, if you like this and you listen on the West Coast or in the middle states or the flyover states, some geographers like to call them, that we happen to be from, look for Harpoon. It's going to be increasing here in distribution probably in the next quarter. So
I think Rheingeist goes through the same distributor. The same.
They weren't listed. And I didn't write down the name in my notes. I read the article, but Sam Adams, that's probably their biggest client because you can get Sam Adams everywhere. Yeah. We're talking about restaurants. That's my go-to because they always will have a Sam Adams, like for a craft beer.
Okay.
Even though
fair enough,
it's a light interpretation, but that's all I had for beer news. JT, did you have anything on tap?
I didn't. I was looking. I look every week for beer news. Got Google Alerts set up, and it's just right now. It's all about takeout beer. Every story is about takeout beer.
You're incredible with your phone when it comes to alerts.
There's a lot of alerts.
And there's an unspoken rule. You never touch another man's penis. You never touch his beer bottle with your lips unless offered, and you never touch his phone.
Yeah.
I've touched JT's phone, so I've broken the rules. I just want to say I've never touched his beer bottle with my lips or his penis.
That's true.
But
as well.
Like if you just double click and it comes up
you just
or whatever.
Tap it and
I'm not joking when I've said JT's had 45.
There's a lot of alerts. So pretty much every app that I download, it says do you want notifications? I'll just say yes.
Yes.
But a lot of them are news, and I want to stay afloat. I'll never open the news app.
Right.
But I'm a headline reader. So I will look at the alerts and be like, oh, this happened in North Korea. Okay, that's all I need to know right now.
Yeah, by the way, that's crazy.
I just need to, that is, whatever's happening
is crazy.
There's a lot of, there's actual trouble happening.
Yeah, come back and, what are we, the 16th today? 16th of June?
Yeah.
We marked it first here. We assessed it. JT point. It's officially crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
nuts. I don't even know. I haven't gotten in a lot of notifications. But something's happening on the border, right?
Yeah, they blew up the Kaesong military complex agreement building.
So that was on the demilitarized zone. Didn't something happen on the China side too?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I saw an alert earlier, but I didn't read it.
Crazy.
I'll just open my phone. But yeah, so I like alerts. I read my news there. And actually, if you're getting into the stock market at all, which that is news right now, retail stock people, which is what they call people who aren't connected to a financial institution, has exploded.
Yeah.
It is insane, and actually Wall Street is nervous about it because it's moving the market. But if you are into stocks, there's a few websites like Bazinga where they'll just be headlines. And you click on it and there's no story, it's just a headline. And it'll say in real small print, this is a headline story only. And so news is being delivered in this way, in alert way, notification way. So that's kind of why I do that. Why I have so many notifications.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's news for how people watch TV now in short clips. That's why that what's that channel, that Quibi?
Yeah,
6 to 10 minute shows.
Quibi is failing miserably.
Oh, is it?
I read a story about it yesterday. They anticipated 6 million subscribers. They're at 2 million right now. And they're blaming COVID. I'm blaming 10-minute videos.
COVID, people are
really
home.
Cares about.
But they got big people to
they have
produce.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, you're basically destroying or breaking down a movie, a feature-length film, into more ingestible to help with the ADD generation.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's being destroyed. COVID, they should be exploding because people are home.
That's what I'm saying. So that excuse doesn't really add up.
Oh, goodness. Well, on that, I'm getting thirsty, JT.
All right. So you want to do yours first?
We can do mine first unless you want to do yours first.
No, we'll wait. We'll wait for mine. It'll probably blow up our taste buds anyway. So Quibi, it stands for Quick Bites. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't shit on anything you were doing before I went and grabbed this gigantic
No,
beer.
I was just looking up the brewery for the beer I brought.
All right, so the brewery for this beer is Urban Artifact.
This can.
This is a 8-ounce can. So we've done a couple of these over the last.
Glad it's an 8-ounce can.
Over the last year or this calendar year. There was the one that was that you had 8.2 ounces. This is why I need my spreadsheet.
Yeah. I'll look it up. It was the red.
Yeah, it was a red
Dunkel or something.
Yep, I will. I'll
look it up.
feet for you. So this is from Urban Artifact. This attracted me because it being an 8-ounce can. This is what attracted the eye because, and without going into much of the can art, it's definitely the size. And I go, I looked at it, and it happened to be stocked at the Kroger where I bought it with the other Urban Artifact stuff. And I always look at Urban Artifact as one of my brewers that I will look and see if there's anything I haven't had. I had everything else on the shelf, so I went with this. So this is Urban Artifact Celebration Grapes. It's a brut fruit tart ale, and I just saw now why it's 8 fluid ounces. You're just seeing this live. This is a 12-ounce beer. So I hypothesize, I haven't read the back of the can or anything like that. I hypothesize this is going to have more of a wine profile.
Yeah.
So, which,
I'll get to it in the can art. But there is a graphic here I've never seen before. 1.5 glasses of wine.
So is either that the consumption or how you serve it?
Or maybe a
pour of wine is 5 1/4 ounces.
Oh, okay.
Like what you're supposed to get, I believe. But anyways, let's go with the crack, and hopefully you don't splash because all of the beer will be out. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's it.
I didn't.
It's almost like a steel
did.
can.
Yeah, it's a thick can. So the other 8-ounce can we had was Rodenbach Fruitage.
Yeah.
And it was 4.2% alcohol in a little can. This is triple that.
Triple.
All right. This is going to be a lot of alcohol.
So, I let JT, maybe it's good that we did this one first because our second beer, I'm sure, is going to be a little bit less, but not as much as we would
maybe
hope
we
after
should
this beer.
switch gears on that beer.
So a little bit about Urban Artifact. You can go into our archives. Again, I wish I had the episodes in front of me. They're on what's recording us right now. But we're big Urban Artifact fans.
Yeah.
You can Google them. You can go to their website. The only miss in the history of this podcast and our friendship and everything that they've had is their Bloody Mary beer that was under the Epicurean flagship, which is the spinoff of Urban Artifact. Urban Artifact is out of Cincinnati, where if you're going to compare beer cities to Dayton and Cincinnati, it's not really fair in the Southwest Ohio region because Cincinnati is that much bigger. But Rheingeist is there, which really is the OG of the Southwest Ohio beer revolution. A brut fruit tart ale.
Brut fruit tart ale.
Brut fruit tart ale. But JT, I think I've tapped danced, so help me out.
Okay, so this is the Can Art Boner brought to you by Steve. Let me come over here real quick, show you what we got. Here's the can. I'll explain it in a minute.
I
Here's
can get
what
up
we
there
were
too.
talking about with the bottles or the glasses of wine. All right, so I will say this right off the bat. My wife, she makes greeting cards. It's like her hobby. She'd love this can because this is kind of like what a greeting card used to look like when she was like still bad at it, and now she's really good at it. It's got a lot like a foil frame around the church, which I'm guessing is the Urban Artifact Brewery, which is in a church.
We have been there.
We've been there, and it looks just like it. And then there's a bunch of like little, what would be probably like stamps or just drawings of random things. Cake, presents, a sloth hanging from a tree.
Can I help you
balloons.
Iconography.
Yeah, iconography. There's a cupcake, a foam finger, a bird with a birthday hat on. So kind of a lot of random stuff. I guess most of it would tie into like a celebration, other than the sloth. I'm not sure what the point of that is. That might be an Urban Artifact thing. And then it's got some quotes on the back, one from Eleanor Roosevelt that says, "If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and be without flavor." And then, there's just one quote. Then below it says, "It is a sanguine time." Sanguine? Is that
sanguine?
Sanguine time right now. But there are small joys worth celebrating, and the future always holds hope. Cheers. And then it's a signature from the brewer and the... Can't really read that word. Sommelier? It's just so tiny.
It's a wine.
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Sommelier. All right. Brut fruit tarts are refreshingly effervescent, very Matt word, grape beers. A co-ferment of beer, wort and grape must with extended skin contact time during fermentation. I got to go to the next line for that. This is going to make it sound like I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
I could barely see the letters. They're tiny. Low intervention, unfiltered, and unfined. All right, so that's a bunch of words. But really what this beer is, from the term brut, what I've come to learn about that is basically it's going to be like a light version of whatever it is. And not light in like the light beer sense, but light in the flavor sense. Almost like if you were to make a hard sparkling IPA, that would be a brewed IPA, in my opinion. It would be, like what is it, Truly or White Claw IPA would be like a brewed IPA. This is a lighter taste of, I guess, a tart ale, but it doesn't have a light tart ale. What is light in this beer, and I'm going to give it...
Sorry, Stacey.
I'm going to give it mad props, mad compliments on this one attribute. You can't taste the 12%. This is like a wine juice. It does have a wine flavor to it. It's not strong at all. So the alcohol doesn't peek through, but the tartness does. There's a fruit in here, a fruitiness, maybe like a melon or a grapefruit or something.
Maybe grapes, celebration
grapes. But it doesn't taste like grapes. It tastes like grapefruit or like a melon.
What melon tastes like grapefruit?
Maybe like a honeydew, a sour honeydew. Maybe a fermented honeydew. I don't know. I've never had one. I don't know. There's a honeydewish flavor to this. Maybe it's totally imagined. I don't know. But I'll tell you this: can't taste the 12%. You definitely could taste that there's booze in here. Maybe 8%. I would probably, if I tasted this and you were like, guess how much alcohol's in that? I'd say 8%. It's good overall. I hate wine, but I hate it more for the mouthfeel, I guess you'd say, than the flavor itself. And this doesn't do that to you. Pretty good beer. Celebration Grapes. What's my score? Man, this is a tough one to score. Let me take one more sip. I like it. I would drink this again. I'd buy it again. 4.5. 4.5 butt cheeks.
I have to write down scores for everyone so I can transpose them. All right, fantastic. So I am with JT on a lot of this. Off the top rope, this is a 3.75. I'm going to tell you how I got there.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's muted compared to a sour.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm glad that they use the word tart, because tart, again, so my lower jaw in the back starts controlling, it's tightening up in the salivation. But I get it's muted but defined. So it doesn't blend together. There's distinct notes that I wish I had a more refined palate to identify. I definitely get the grapes. I get where a sommelier has been involved in this process, because it is very wine-like, and it's mixing the world of tart ales with wines. And I'm guessing that's why the size, because the alcohol content, which is more so on wines. I get the alcohol more so on the nose than on the taste, probably as this podcast goes on today. More so also in the effect. It's definitely not as dry as wine, and that's what turns me off to wines, is because no one drinks wines and goes, this is extremely refreshing. You just don't get that with wines. My wife drinks a lot of wine. She drinks a lot more reds than she does whites. I'm more of a white wine drinker, so if I'm drinking wine, I like Rieslings and Gewürztraminers because they're a sweeter and they're made from a less ripened grape because they haven't turned the sugar over into pure booze yet. So again, appreciate the marriage. This is going to be something I give to my wife to see what she says about it. I think the sour turns her off a little bit because she's a little more in the dryness and whatever tastes, the oak, chestnuts, whatever, with wine. That's the limit of my wine knowledge that I've just given to you guys all.
That was pretty impressive. I know much less than that.
So again, off the top rope, it's a 375. I like that these places in the last couple of weeks are kind of branching out. This is right in Urban Artifacts wheelhouse. This is not the least favorite beer of mine that I've done. The aforementioned Bloody Mary, which I love Bloody Marys, was much worse. But this is one, I would recommend it to a friend if I knew that they liked wine, but we happen to be at the aforementioned brewery. I'm pointing on the small can from really far away. But,
Urban Artifact.
You can take it back a couple of minutes ago. But other than that, 375. But again, weighting that against other Urban Artifact beers.
Okay, weighing against other Urban Artifact beers.
Yeah, I do that for like...
Considered that.
I do that... So there's a couple breweries that I will always do that. Three Floyds will get that. Rheingeist will get that treatment. Toppling Goliath will always get that treatment. I don't want to rate them against their peers because I think
they have their own thing going.
Yes,
Yep.
and if there's going to be somebody, a data analytics guy, that's going to go through and that's going to be bad for the recording and say. Good. Man, he's higher than all these beers, so that's how I try to rate them against themselves. Because when I do like a Brute Fruit Tart Ale, probably the best Brute Fruit Tart Ale I've ever had.
Yeah,
probably the only Brute Tart. So that's why I try to range them against their own game.
That'll be great for the recording too.
Yeah.
All right, this is another. It's gonna get us
all the noise.
All right, this was a
holy buckets
submission from my mom a long time ago. Actually, I've been kind of cellaring it. This is Arrowhead Ale's Heritage Series. This was released at Halloween.
Oh my goodness!
But it has been kept in a dark room. I know it's in a can, so it doesn't really matter. But it's been kept at the same temperature. It's an Imperial Chocolate Coffincreeper. We'll get into it. It is basically a special edition beer that I've been waiting to drink for a while. And when Chris said he wasn't going to be here today, I only have 2 of them. I said, okay, this will be a good time to do a beer I only have 2 of. Didn't know that we were going to do a 12% Urban Artifact beer, but we'll get this worked out. So this is Arrowhead. And let's crack it open, and then I'll read a little bit about the brewery. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I had to reach for that one to get that one on.
I hate when the countdown's going and you don't have a good grip. You're just like, I'm going to throw it under my fingernail otherwise and just rip it to shreds.
Otherwise, it's Bud Light time.
Yep, that's right. You can't do that. All right. So I don't even think this beer is still on their website. Maybe cellaring it was a bad idea. I don't know. But what I originally was going to do was just save one of these just because it's a cool can. But then I was like, why would I ever do that? I don't save cans for anything else.
But, like, eventually, build, like, a man cave or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to, like, decorate it with. But, I mean, can art boner is kind of your shtick.
It's kind of my shtick, but this doesn't have one of the best can arts. But what happened was my mom brought... My son, my youngest son, he's super into Pennywise. And so she brought a beer that was kind of inspired by Pennywise. And I believe it's called This Town is Cursed. I don't know who makes it. But she brought this with it. And they kind of both had cool can art. So I was like, I'll just save them both. They're both kind of Halloween-like beers. And I'm still saving the Pennywise beer. I think that's a cool can. I drank one of them, and I gave the empty can to my youngest son because he likes Pennywise. And this one, you'll see the can art. It's just not unique enough. It kind of looks like a Spirit Halloween ad. Spirit. They're gonna take over your local abandoned shopping mall soon.
I mean, don't give away all of the can art boner segment.
No, I won't. All right, let me get to the Arrowhead. Have we ever done Arrowhead? I know you don't have your thing in front of you.
98% confident that we have not done Arrowhead, and I don't know how you can't feel the booze on the first one and then multiplied by this one. I don't know.
You can't feel it on the first one.
It's multiplying for me.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely multiplying.
I'm glad Cobra isn't here for the fact that if there was a game, I would get destroyed right now. I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, I don't know much about Arrowhead's history.
Where are they out of?
Yeah, they're out of Illinois, New Lenox, Illinois.
New Lenox.
New Lenox.
I don't even know.
I don't even know where that is either. I've heard of it. I think there's baseball tournaments there.
So is it in the Chicago? Is it within?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a suburb.
Okay, that's all. It's a suburb of Chicago.
Suburb of Chicago. They have food, beer.
They have food. Excellent.
They have a mug club.
Oh, at the brewery.
This is just me looking at their website super quick.
So
I should have done more research on this, but I did this last minute because Chris wasn't going to be here.
Yeah, Chris updated us. So mug clubs in college, one of the best bar deals that we had was they had Wednesday mug clubs.
Okay.
And so I still have my mug. So Brothers. Shout out to Brother or Outshout. We haven't done an Outshout in a long time. Outshout to Brothers.
We did an Outshout to Mike Day last week.
Okay. Did you actually say Outshout?
Yeah.
Then I apologize.
It's all right.
So it's been exactly 1 week since we've done an Outshout.
Yeah, but before that, maybe longer.
We should put a timer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Brothers had their mug club. So you bought the mug for $5, and then on Wednesdays you got it filled for $1. So everyone would carry on Wednesdays at school.
Yeah.
Their mugs.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they would put it on like a carabiner. You
Yeah.
know, like the worthless carabiner. If you ever climbed with it, you would die. But they would put that on their backpack or their purses. That would let you know that they were going to Brothers.
Okay.
That night. And it was a nice thing because it was both in my hometown, Eau Claire, and then my wife, where she went to school, lacrosse, they both had Brothers, so it was the same gimmick. So you could take
cool.
it from...
That's
it
awesome.
wasn't just like a one... It was a small chain.
Yeah.
I know they have... There's Brothers in Madison. There's interesting stories about fights happening there with the Badger football team. But So yeah, Brothers, Outshout, Mug Club. Mug Club is something that I think bars should bring back. I know we don't promote the frat drinking culture.
Well, no, we don't. We don't do that.
But
But you can get a beer stein on the Dayton Beer Trail. That's the gift, right?
yeah, for this year.
Oh, it's a yearly thing?
Well, every year that you do the beer trail, I think it's a new gift.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You know where you have the fold out map.
I thought they would give me multiple years to complete it.
Not at the same time. You have to complete it in the same year or the same period of time.
That's really hard to do.
I've never done one of those.
Yeah, I have the booklet. I've gone to 2 breweries. And there's a pandemic, so it's a lot harder. They should give you a way better gift.
I wish if I wanted to complete those, and those started right before we had Hannah,
Yeah.
that I would have been involved in because I'm all incentivized by completing a map.
Yeah, right.
First of all,
Yeah.
it's like a treasure.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, but there's a lot of the breweries that we're kind of like not excited about. You know, they just make your standard ale, lager, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So Arrowhead, New Lenox, Illinois. They make this beer. It's chocolate coffin. It is an imperial chocolate milk stout with milk, sugar, lactose,
Yep.
chocolate, and spooky Halloween monster cereal with marshmallows. So we're talking like Count Chocula style cereal. If that and Count Chocula, you know, I don't want to give away the can art butter segment, but Count Chocula is probably where this is leaning towards with the can art. And then that's it. You want to
Yes.
dive in?
There was one last thing I was trying to, and you were dancing just long enough for me. That's why I always sleeve my beers, because we have 2 individuals on this podcast that have a segment and do a much better job illustrating before we went to YouTube what was on the can.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the can, I'll get up and I'll spin the
Okay.
can for you.
Thanks.
So The reason why I say that is because I just lifted it up and I get the only word I saw was marshmallow. So that's going to be the fourth point I hit. This is sweet, thin, and dry. Where the previous beer wetted my palate because it was sour and it was activating the salivation. This is not at all. This is extremely dry, which is odd. But for a stout, this is like thinned or watered down chocolate milk, just with the beer profile. So if you combined light beer, you could tell me that this was like a light stout. And, somebody that's, working out, doing intermittent fasting or something like that, but you like stouts, maybe this could fool you into thinking that you're drinking a healthy stout or something that's not as filling.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like super filled by this.
Yeah, it doesn't feel filling, but it feels unhealthy.
Yeah, forget the unhealthy part, but if you're drinking beer, you're not exactly healthy. So maybe this is like the Mick Ultra of stouts. So again, sweet, thin, and dry. Maybe some of the sweetness I get because it's an odd sweetness. Isn't from the chocolate, but it's from like the marshmallow, where it's like that super punch of sugar.
Yeah.
And then 100%. It goes away. Because marshmallow isn't something like, after you've had a marshmallow, 5 minutes later, you're like, man, I still taste the marshmallow. Yeah. Marshmallow doesn't have that. It leaves your palate or your mouth very quickly. So those are the 4 things I will say about that. Off the top rope, compared to some of the richer stouts, I guess maybe when I'm drinking a stout, I automatically want rich. I will give this. It's not a terrible beer. Off the top rope, I give this. I'm vacillating 3.25.
Okay.
It's just I don't know that. It's the difference between having like a well-developed soup that has many layers of flavor, and then a soup that's been cooked for like 15 minutes, and everything's just been put
I love soup.
Soup's great. You should open my freezer sometime. After this.
Someday I'll open your freezer.
That freezer. Don't. The dead bodies are in that freezer.
Okay.
Don't. But JT.
All right.
Please enlighten me with what you think.
I will enlighten you. I have a lot of thoughts. This is the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by Steve. Arrowhead Ale's Heritage Series, which leads me to believe this is a limited edition type of beer, Imperial Chocolate Coffincreeper. I've already read the ingredients. It's got bats on it. It's got a ghost on it. It's got 2 little kind of Pac-Man style ghosts next to the big ghost. It's got more Pac-Man ghosts and a spiral little hypnotized thing in the Dracula cape.
Here's where the art is.
This is the Count Chocula figure that I was referring to before. He's a little older. He's only got 1 tooth, which is weird. Not sure where that comes from. Big collar. Popping his collar. Like he's a 2005 frat boy. And then on the other side it says Imperial Chocolate Stout. We make beer here. That's good. Good to know. And then 16 ounces, 10.5 alcohol by volume, 55 international bitter units, dark, creepy, sweet. Okay, that's the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by Stev. Here are my thoughts on the flavor. This beer is about as creamy of a stout as I've had. Almost no carbonation. Actually, no carbonation at all whatsoever. It tastes a lot like what a chocolate milk or like an almond milk would taste like, but with alcohol.
Almond milk? Have you had almond milk?
Yeah, I drink almond milk all the time, like almost every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Why almond milk?
Because it has 0 carbs in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's good to drink with your protein shake after a workout.
Nah, just drink water.
Or water. Water works too, but I like to have it thickened up. Yeah. The unsweetened almond milk with protein powder, perfect. Perfect post-workout treat. Do you drink almond milk?
No.
Oh, why not?
Because I grew up on a dairy farm.
Well, yeah, I drink milk too, but it's full of carbs.
It's different. So in my house, before I married my wife, you would never find margarine. Never, ever.
Really?
You're taking money away from farmers.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, because you're buying.
We buy butter in my house.
All right. Well, we can still.
If you watch my kids' YouTube channel, you'll find that they use butter on every quesadilla.
No cross promotion.
Family secret.
No cross promotion. Is that the secret?
The secret to a crispy quesadilla is to butter the skillet.
Butter the shit
Or
out
butter
of
the
it.
griddle.
Butter the shit out of it, not just
Hell yeah.
like, not
Butter
like a
the
little
shit out of it.
spritz.
Support your local farmers, everyone.
Exactly.
All right.
It says this is only 6%.
It says that on Untapped? Well,
Yeah.
on the can it says 10.5.
Chocolate Coffincreeper.
Well, Untapped's either
Oh, it's
wrong
not the
or-
Imperial.
Oh, Imperial.
God, people.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
So it's super creamy, and it's one of the creamiest beers I've had. It actually kind of delivers in that department, even though it didn't advertise that. However, I'm on record as saying beers with this lactose, they're becoming too sugary to handle. It's not enjoyable when it's this sugary. I think what they were aiming for was like the milk after you're done with your Count Chocula. It's like a chocolatey milk with marshmallow residue, and that's what this flavor is supposed to be. But the sugar, it's just sugar is just punching me in the face. It's so sweet, and it's not in like a fun dip sweet kind of way. It's not in a chocolate sweet kind of way. It's in like a pure sugar sweet kind of way. Everyone thinks they'd like to eat sugar, but you eat a spoonful of sugar and it's fucking awful. So it's too sweet, and I don't get any of the marshmallow. I don't get a lot of chocolate that's not cocoa or cacao, either one, and it's just creamy. That's pretty much what this beer has going for it. Where am I with this beer? Having said all that negative stuff, I don't hate it. I don't hate the beer. I just don't love the beer.
This is the plot twist in a JT movie. Buries it the whole time. Boom!
It's too sweet.
Third act happens.
It's too sweet. I almost certainly will never buy this beer again. But I really like the advertised, marshmallow.
Mama
cereal,
GT, we love you though.
Cereal stuff. Yeah. Oh no, she was definitely going for can art on this
Okay.
because she knows that's my segment. 3.0 on this beer.
Wow.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
That's your lowest
definitely
Wild
not.
Ohio score in a long time.
Really? Yeah, I give a lot of high scores. I wouldn't buy this again. It's just way too sweet. I don't know if I'll even finish this beer. But I'll
You know
try.
where the dumper is? Right in your mouth.
The dumper's in my mouth. That's what they say. That's what they say. So anyway, thanks, Arrowhead. We'll get more beer from you at some point.
Yeah, it's not that brewery that you go to that's across the railroad, like Undertone.
No, that's Whiskey Hill.
No, never heard of it.
Yeah, Whiskey Hill. They make good beer. They were one of the first people to put Cinnamon Toast Crunch in their beer.
God, so good. Such an underrated
We've
cereal.
never had it. I don't think any of us have had it.
The Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cereal is good. The milk afterwards, much better.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a home run in every aspect. It holds its crunch through probably 20 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
Well, why is it taking you
It
20
doesn't get
minutes to eat a
soggy.
bowl of cereal?
It never has. That's why I don't know how
I'm saying
long
the
it
last
holds its
couple of
crunch.
spoonfuls are
I think
a little bit soggy.
Okay, what's the crunchiest cereal?
Grape nuts.
No. Grape nuts.
Do they turn into mush?
Yeah, they mush.
Okay.
Other than the granola, right? There's granola in grape nuts, right?
No.
No, that's Raisin Bran something or other.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Something has granola in it, but the crunchiest cereal for the longest period of time
Captain
is definitely no. It's what are those called? They're honey something.
Honey Bunches of Oats?
No, honey grams. Honey grams.
Honey grams is the same shape.
Square, same shape as Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Same thickness.
Yeah,
so.
but they're covered in honey, so the milk doesn't penetrate the cereal as fast.
But,
Do you remember the movie, I think it was Christmas Vacation, where he had invented a cereal that doesn't absorb milk?
No.
I think it was Christmas Vacation. Remember, you've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
Where he's standing in the hallway and he's like, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your own ass. You know that part?
Yes.
I think that he had just got done talking about the cereal that doesn't absorb milk.
I was just updating my stuff on Untappd so I don't do it at 3 days from now.
Yeah, I'll do it probably like 4 days from now.
No, but you're I wouldn't have done it, but you updated yours.
Yeah, the first one.
The interesting. This sounds like an experiment. We should do this on the pod.
We should
pour them ahead of time.
Let's have a bunch of cereal. Because like your basic kid cereals, Lucky Charms. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Captain Crunch, those mostly get soggy fast.
Yeah.
But there's these like ones that are like kids aren't super drawn to them, like Honey Grams and the Bran cereal, Raisin Bran.
Does Kix? I've got Kix upstairs.
Kix are the circles, right?
Yeah.
The little spheres.
The orbs.
Yeah.
My daughter loves dry cereal.
Yeah.
She wants that
I
as a
love
snack.
dry cereal as a kid.
So
we should test this out.
And my father-in-law who listens, and shout out to all the fathers up there because the next episode will be after Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to the fathers out there that listen and support us. I can think of let's just do a shout out right now. So Chuggalo Dave, my father-in-law. Who else is a father? Cobra, if you're listening.
Cobra. Dr. is a father.
Dr. is a father.
Randy Orton's a father.
Stev, about
not yet.
15 years before you become a father. Otherwise, I'm going to beat that ass. Who else is a father?
I was a young father like Stev.
Chuggalo Mikey. Chuggalo Ryan.
Pretty much all the Chuggalos are fathers.
Are we going to get shit because
they're not women?
We didn't do a shout out to
mothers?
To mothers.
Outshout to all mothers.
It's a dude podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
The mothers, that's one of our highly most watched YouTubes is the gals.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you put women in a YouTube video, everyone watches it.
Yeah.
Put 3 dudes in there and people are like, whatever.
They're hoping to see boobs.
Yeah.
But so shout out to the fathers. But back to cereal. Put a comment, please, in our YouTube for a cereal that you want us to try. We'll go buy it.
We'll buy it.
And we will do it on the pod.
None of these hard to find, like, bag cereals. Like, the obvious
we can do multiple meal, but...
we can, but
we'll buy the General Mills or Post or whatever.
Yeah, it has to be findable.
Yeah, like if you do some, like, fiber-rich, impenetrable thing. So, and there's a couple of you, or, shoot us a message like how you normally would, but... Cereals that would last 20 minutes in milk without getting soggy.
20 minutes, yeah.
Because that's going to be the time.
A 20-minute taste test. It goes 20 minutes. We see which is the crunchiest.
And we're just going to sit here, all 3 of us.
And the winner wins.
Because I know Cobra will be on it with a spoon.
Yeah. And we'll just try all the cereals.
Yep. It's going to be great. It's a beer podcast, not a marijuana podcast. But
no, I don't know. Maybe we should start a new podcast for cereal.
Cereal podcast. That'd be fun.
Yeah, there was one called Cereal. It was different, though.
Yeah, we would...
It was more about murder.
Oh. It was more about murder.
Yeah, Cereal. It was a good podcast, though.
I am almost done with this beer, but it's not it's not a pleasurable experience.
I'm having trouble with it. I'm about halfway through it, and I don't know that I'll finish it.
It's too
sweet.
I'm sad that it's the dryness that mutes. If it's a graph, because I always do hand motions. So I'm glad that
it's a graph.
So you guys that listen, Excite Bike.
I love Excite Bike.
It's that ramp that goes up big quick, and then not the long platform that was on the top of the track. Please, if you know that, outshout it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or YouTube. But it's the big one, and it's a drop off, and it's right into the fucking dirt pit.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest piece.
Oh, I hate that.
Yep.
I love Excite Bike.
And then drop off. Yeah. Nothing stays with you. It's just super dry.
Yeah.
It's more dry than the wine beer.
It's drier than the wine beer, yeah, for sure.
Think of the juxtaposition.
Yeah.
And think of all the haters that come at us. All you guys do is you drink sours and it's a tart.
Everyone says we drink too many IPAs. We're hopheads.
Yeah.
I think that's just a standard complaint that people have for craft beer podcasts in general, because we don't.
No.
We're
we
really
do
diverse with our beer.
I would say most of our, it's how we drink, and we're the same in it. But we're doing stouts more. We've got tons more on the deck. I wish you could see the beer we have. I'm traveling back to Wisconsin this weekend, so God knows that I'm going to bring back a trunk full of shit. I've got a bunch of stuff cellaring. I've got a bunch of stuff in the fridge. Believe me, stouts are there, but we want to do something that we enjoy too. So, but yeah, they're coming.
I'm kind of getting burned out on IPAs. Like, I went to Arrow and I looked around and I'm like, nope. Every IPA is just the same. Oh, this is a New England one. This is a double one. It's like, I'm over it. Give me something different.
He's getting tired.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. But I still like IPAs. They're just too many. We're oversaturated.
Your palate, your long-term palate, your taste memory is what more can they do to surprise you?
Right, yeah.
Sour IPAs satiate that for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
right.
What more, you know?
The black IPAs are those that have some something new.
That's a tough row to hoe, though. Black IPAs.
It's new. It's new, though.
I know, gives
you something new.
There's been a few like OGs, but yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
For me.
And then the fruit ones, the sour ones. But in general, I'm looking for something different.
JT, as we try to choke down this last beer.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Let's talk baseball. I was thinking this would be a good time to talk baseball.
So, we will get Chris's opinion, Cobra's opinion out of the way. What do you guys think? All right. So that was him allowing
that
us
was
to
him.
talk
Yeah,
about,
that was him
allowing us to talk about it. So, JT.
Yeah.
We could do. I've thought about this many a time.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take the owner side. I could take the player side, or we could take the fan side. And I think both of us are going to take the fan side.
Yeah.
I don't think we should argue from the billionaire and millionaire perspective.
Yeah, right.
We should argue from the consumer.
Hard place to argue from.
Consumer perspective. Yeah. Where are we now, as you see it, with the baseball negotiations on the 16th of June, 2020?
I think there's two possibilities right now.
Correct.
And I'll also tell you what I would do if I was an owner. I don't know what I'd do if I was a player, so I have no opinion. But there's two possibilities. One, there will be no season. That's one possibility. And the second possibility is the owners have to cave.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think there's a reasonable
Make a
conclusion.
Prognostication right now. Will we play baseball this calendar year, 2020? In the United States?
I think...
Because I've been watching KBO games.
I'm about 90% sure that it's in some capacity, Major League Baseball players will play baseball.
Okay.
Do I know if they'll play for the Major League Baseball organization or they will play for some, Mark Cuban fucking side league? Wiffle ball? I don't know. But in some capacity, there will be legitimate baseball being played by Major League Baseball players in some capacity. But I don't know in what capacity.
Can we refer to the Mark Cuban side league as Missile? MCSL?
That would be awesome.
Let's call it Missile.
I hope this is happening.
So they'll play in the Missile.
I hope that some billionaire like Mark Cuban who sees the potential says, let's just play some fucking games.
What's the potential though? So Mark Cuban's a billionaire.
Yeah.
What's the potential for him to get all of the marquee names, your Mike Trouts, to come play? So you're saying like 20, 30 games, just backyard baseball, but
I'm saying backyard
marquee
baseball, but I don't think that'll happen just because of like injury.
Yeah.
But I've also thought, okay, what if I was an owner? Let's say I'm worth $3 billion, which is I think a good average for like a baseball team.
For sure.
I would pay the players their full salary,
prorated,
regardless. No, full year salary.
Full year salary. Wow.
But I would require that those players live in my city and play scrimmage games televised once a week until the season starts. I don't care what MLB says. I will call it flub ball. I will call it juke ball. Not that, actually. That's a...
Juke ball?
Juke ball.
I love juke ball.
I'm just saying, like, what do they call it? Like, what are those called? Not synonyms.
Juke ball.
Syllables.
Juge. Juke ball.
It doesn't even stand for anything.
No. Juke ball.
Yeah. Or blah ball. It could be called.
I don't like blah ball.
We can call it whatever. But I'm the owner of a team. I'm paying all my players. You are going to play once a week. I don't care if it's wiffle ball. I don't care if it's fucking kickball or real baseball. We're playing. We're televising it. I'm going to sell rights to some TV network. And we're going to bet on it. It's going to be like a DraftKings thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this once a week as a team, maybe split squad, maybe I'll call the AAA team up, whatever. But you're all getting paid, and we're playing baseball because right now there's no baseball being played, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the owners are like, well, we're losing money, and the players are like, well, we want to make money. Well, I have a good compromise. Everyone can make money. Everyone, including the owners. I don't think it'll be Mark Cuban because basketball's coming back in July. For a shortened playoff thing.
I'm excited for that.
That should be cool. But that doesn't mean that like someone like Elon Musk, who's also a billionaire and does not own a sports team, couldn't profit off of hiring like contractor baseball players. Like Mike Trout could say, I have a contract, but I can also be a contractor. And he can go play in a wiffle ball league with Elon Musk or something. It's a ridiculous idea, but I feel like the owners and the players, really what needs to happen here is that the owners need to be reminded that they're not the only game in town.
Right.
Because right now that's what they think. And that's true.
For now.
But if you get one billionaire to be like, fuck it, I'll pay these guys a couple $1 million. I mean, think about how much money you'd make just on the DraftKings shit alone.
Yeah.
You'd probably get kickbacks like in the hundreds of millions.
And we're not, millionaires and billionaires.
No. I mean, I am, but I don't like to reveal that to anybody.
And that's smart. You're keeping up the shtick.
Keep it a secret.
The thing with even Rob Manfred, so I've got money involved in this in a small amount, is I subscribe to the MLB Network.
Yes.
Big Brewers fan. I emailed the MLB Network, and I go, hey, I'd like to be refunded. And they're like, well, if there's no season, you can be refunded. So I have that option on the table. What bothers me is everyone is, they're getting closer. They started, the players wanted to play. The players wanted to play a lot of games. And the owners didn't want it to happen for, they're like, we don't keep, and the Ricketts family.
But you also have to look at it from both perspectives. The players did want to play a lot of games, but they wanted a certain salary.
Right. They wanted.
I'm not saying they're wrong or right.
Prorated.
I'm saying it wasn't just like we'll play.
Right.
Let the kids play because kids play for free.
Right.
Major League Baseball players do not.
Well,
and I don't expect them to.
I'm
just saying
they have
sides.
a marketable skill. I'm not going to play.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to play 12-year-old Timmy.
I'm not going to rip off Major League Baseball players. They have a skill that I don't have, and they have a contract.
Right. So I'm all for players. So if I'm taking a stance, I'm all for players getting a full prorated. So effectively, they get prorated now. 162 games. You take whatever salary they make. You divide it by 162.
Yeah.
And you
pay per game.
And teams or owners have been like, well, no, that's not the case. We'll start at 60%. So you only get 60% of what you would normally make during a normal year during this year. And
prorated. Well, their argument is that why should the owners be the only people to take the hit on day of game sales?
Right.
It's this dumb argument, but I get that's...
Yeah, and they say they're not, as cash fluid as the players or the public would seem to think.
Yeah.
So I side with the players.
Of course, yeah. I think everyone pretty much does.
In this argument, or this stance. So Rob Manfred said on the Carl Ravitch show less than a week ago, 100% there's going to be a season because there's a poison pill clause that said that the owners can tell the players, hey, there's going to be X amount of games and we'll be here. So the good faith negotiation period has failed, essentially. The players, the MLBPA, with Tony Clark, have tried a couple of things. Now they're at the point where they, 2 days ago, they said to the owners, or they said to the league, because Rob Manfred represents the league, just tell us when to show up. Yeah. Excellent. So that means there would be games, but now there was a good faith provision that the owners looked at when Tony Clark said, as soon as the owners schedule us, we're going to file a grievance for millions of dollars that they're putting us in harm's way. I know it's extremely selfish as a one-person individual, but I'm looking at like places like the Korean baseball organization. Granted, they're not worth the millions and millions and millions of dollars that these players are. They're playing baseball.
Yeah, they're playing baseball.
If you want to wake up early and still just like you love the sport, Korean baseball is right there. The skill is right there because it's equal skill individuals. Mm-hmm. It's not you're not having the Yankees against a small
like
college like Creighton or something like that. So again, we just want baseball. We
just want baseball. Yeah.
Great beer drinking sport.
Definitely
sit here. So they're gonna lose. So where I'm worried about, I'm kind of getting off. They're gonna lose, and that's why the Long Gone Summer that was just on ESPN this last Sunday. We're gonna have another. If they don't play any ball, they're gonna have another. They're gonna have to earn the fans back, and they spent so long building up that good faith, and it took steroids to help that.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely have to earn the fans back, and there's a real anti. See, here's what I don't get about the owners. There's a super anti-billionaire mentality in the country right now. I mean, everyone, it seems to be, they're rallying against the rich, the uber rich, the 1%.
It's like Animal
Whether
Farm.
you agree with it or not, that's not my point. My point is that there's an anti-mentality against these people. And you have an easy win. In my opinion, you have an easy win. This year's a wash for a lot of people. It's been very... it's hurt a lot of middle class, lower middle class and lower class Americans who make salaries. We're talking under 20,000, under 30,000. People making under 100,000. People making under 250,000. To think that a billionaire can't just suck it up and lose some money.
Yeah.
I mean, no one feels for you.
Right.
Even if you lose the exact same percentage of money as someone who makes $50,000 a year, it hurts them more. Have the season. You're losing, but we're losing too. So you're not going to win. You're not going to win hearts and minds if you're the billionaire owner. I think the NBA realizes that almost immediately, and that's why they've come to an agreement. I don't know how their collective bargaining works, if the owners and the league are different entities.
They are, but it's they try to make it as close because there's no salary cap in the NBA.
Yeah.
There is a minimum spend, but the profit share is supposed to be right around 50-50.
Oh, okay.
Because you have faces matter in the NBA.
Yeah.
More so than the NFL. And the NBA has done a great job of ingratiating themselves on a global market, better than the other three sports. Yeah. Combine the NHL combined.
I think there's so many opportunities. It's just someone who's looking at it from a business perspective. I just don't see how someone hasn't started a weekly wiffle ball league. I don't know what the legalities are, but your team, from what I understand,
go half speed. So
the team members, the teammates of these franchises have already committed to COVID testing, temperature testing, whatever sickness testing, and they've committed to staying in a city for an extended period of time, whether it be with or without their families. So now you have the commitment from at least 25 to 30 baseball players. Just have them come to your city and play scrimmage games. I just don't understand why no one's making money on this yet. Because you don't have any obstacles. The UFC's doing it. The WWE's doing it. There's a couple other sports golf is doing a lot of televised events, and they're not even real. It's like Tiger Woods versus Tom Brady. It's not even a real.
That was awesome.
Consequential.
Watched it.
Yeah, it's not a consequential thing. It's not for the U.S. Open Trophy. You're not going to get a gold jacket from it, but people watch it. I just don't understand how Mike Trout hasn't played baseball yet. I don't get how Chris Bryant hasn't played baseball or Christian Yelich. It's so easy. You could sell the rights for millions of dollars.
Right.
To Fox or ABC or whatever.
The bottom line, we can both agree, we're starving for baseball.
We're starving for baseball. We're starving for sports.
Yeah, and the ESPN ratings show it. Anytime there's something new, live, it's just gangbusters.
The WNBA draft drew like millions of people.
Right.
You know,
just these off the cuff things that have existed for 20, 30 years. And this year they do gangbusters. As an advertiser or as a network, you could sell that to advertisers and just make gangbusters amount of money.
Yep.
So, stepping up and taking the risk. And we don't know. We're not experts. We don't know the contract legalities. A lot of these, I know Ben Roethlisberger, again, spanning sports, can't ride motorcycles anymore because high risk activities. So whether or not some of these all-star players. Or perennial all-star players can't even play pickup basketball because the fear of tearing an Achilles or something.
Yeah, but some of them are.
Yeah, some of them do it.
Steph Curry was just playing pickup basketball last weekend. A huge video online.
So, there is definitely demand for it, and that's the thing with the Golden State Warriors. Those players were supposed to be out the entire season. They're going to be able to come back. But,
yeah, you're right.
But those players aren't going to be a part of the 22-team invitee for Golden State because they had such a terrible record. So it's only players or only teams that are within 6 games of the 8th place team and above are going to be invited, and it's 22 teams.
Yeah, the NHL has something similar, 22 or 24 teams. But baseball still hasn't figured it out. If at the very least, they need to have a playoff. Just a round robin, old school, tournament style baseball, Little League style
Sandlot
tournament. Yeah, and just have it in one location. I like how the NBA is doing everything.
Play in the Field of Dreams in Iowa. That game is supposed to happen this year.
That would be so awesome. Yankees, White Sox. It's canceled.
The televised advance.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because you don't have fans there, whatever. Do it like KBO.
And another thing baseball needs to do is get rid of this whole blackout thing. The NFL needs to do it too, but baseball is really bad about streaming. Their streaming is shit.
Yeah.
It is absolute garbage. And 2, the blackouts. The blackouts are so dumb. I live in Ohio. I can't watch the Cubs when they play in Cincinnati. I can't watch the Cubs when Cincinnati plays in Chicago. And sometimes Cleveland.
Yep.
That's so dumb. So dumb. You are. It's so stupid.
We're not driving to the game when it's 4.5 hours away because of your range print. No.
Yeah.
Dumb.
No, it's so stupid.
Don't blame us.
Yeah. The blackouts have got to stop. Baseball needs to join the 21st century. And you need to play baseball. If at the very minimum have a tournament style, 3 or 4 week tournament, maybe single, double elimination, into the World Series.
I do agree, though, that some players think that a 50-game baseball season would be tarnished. Their ring would.
Oh, no doubt about it. They would have an asterisk by it. But would you rather not play at all?
Yeah, I'm not wearing the ring.
I mean, it's not. You still get the ring, and you're still going to get your season in.
Right.
I mean, a lot of players are.
I'd love to see the
contract
Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, you'd like to see the.
That'd be hit a hot streak.
The
Oakland A's. The Oakland A's always a second half team. Billy Bean, whatever.
Yeah,
you
they're
do,
always
a second half team.
And then they suck in the playoffs.
Yeah. 50-game season, you come in 42-8 because you're a second half team.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, exactly. It'd be interesting to have a 50-game season.
Right, expanded rosters.
It's very possible there's not going to be a season. But if there's not,
I
lobby the billionaires who aren't sports owners, like Elon Musk and Richard Branson, Bill Gates.
Yeah, again.
Sign some fucking TV deals and do a wiffle ball tournament. Do something. It's crazy that Mike Trout might not play for a full year.
Yeah,
that's nuts. Christian Yelich,
during his prime,
generational. They're not going to play for a full year.
Generational talents.
Who knows what's going to happen when they come back?
Father time.
Father time gets the best of him. Chris Bryant had a kid since this thing started. He's going to be like an old man now.
Oh, wow. Well, that was really a soapbox, and that was without beer because
it was a good soapbox.
Everything that we had, 2 double-digit beers.
Yeah.
JT, that's all I've got.
That's all I've got.
Short and sweet, I think, today. I didn't even know.
It was sweet. I don't know that it was short.
Oh, we're rating our normal time.
Yeah, normal time. We got a big episode 100 planned. I still haven't asked.
Planning.
It's in planning. We got a lot of work to do over the next 9 weeks to get it to where we want it to be. Otherwise, nothing else. We'll have Chris back next week, I think.
Yep. And if we do, we'll find out 12 hours before we hit the record button.
And that's it. Episode 91.
91.
8 more to go, 9 more to go. Thanks for joining us, Butt Chug Podcast. Bye.
Cheers.